Kill her after work. Don't let her make it back home. This instruction seemed to be looped in his head. He'd been hearing it for 2 days now. A voice in his head that seemed to have been born when he saw the picture in the arts and entertainment section of the local paper. He'd seen the woman in the ad for the adult entertainment shop before. To say she was hot was an understatement. She was the sort of hot that made him think dating was useless, because there was no way he'd ever get a woman like her. Yeah, he'd seen her before. She was a waitress at the 16th Street Diner. She worked the late shift, between 9 and 2 in the morning. He'd seen her a few times in college when he'd wanted to escape the idiocy of the dorms, parties, and assignments. He'd never really had friends, so it had been easy for him to get away without being questioned. He'd escape to the 16th Street Diner for late-night grub, greasy eggs, home fries, and pitch-black coffee. He had enjoyed the night she had worked. She was nice, but not too nice. Not to the point where you knew she was just feeling sorry for the loner guy who had just shoved in a ton of food. He had managed to learn quite a bit about her in listening to some of the other morons in the diner flirting with her. She was a student too. Or rather, she had been back then, 3 years ago. He also knew her from before college, but she did not remember him. He knew it without asking. He could see it in the way she looked at him, the pleasant smile that was hoping for a nice tip. He didn't blame her. Why would a woman that looked like that remember a guy that looked like him out of a sizable graduating class? She looked older now, in the ad in the paper. But good God, she was still hot. Hotter than ever. The fishnets, stilettos, and bare chest, covered only by the store's logo, made it almost painful for him to look at her. Maybe that's what had spurred the sudden instructions that currently blew through his head. The first time he'd heard it, he made a trip out to the 16th Street Diner, late at night, just to see if she still worked there. He assumed she would, because she had been treated like a goddess there. She was just goth-looking enough to attract that crowd, but was also able to pull off the classic beauty look that appealed to jocks and older men going through their midlife crisis. He had seen her walk away with $50 tips from men who had only purchased coffee and pie. The pie, apparently, an open invitation for countless sexual innuendos. Sure enough, she was still there. She had even waited on him, bringing his bagel, bacon, and tea with a smile, and enough cleavage to remind him of the many fantasies he'd had about her back in college. He'd even remarked that he remembered her from his college years, waiting table for him and his friends. She seemed to appreciate that he had remembered her, but with waitresses who dressed like that and relied on tips, it was hard to tell if she was being genuine or not. He pictured the smile she had given him as he watched her come out of the back entrance to the diner. It was 1:18 in the morning. A slight drizzle of rain was falling, though that always seemed to be the case in this miserable town. He was dressed in a rain slicker, sitting on the alleyway stoop of an old record store that was mostly hidden by the back edge of the diner. Kill her after work. Don't let her make it back home. He watched her, remembering her talking to him and his friends 3 years ago, angling for a good tip, smiling, patting them on the shoulder or back on occasion, expertly leaning over when delivering the food to offer a shot down her shirt. Kill her after work. Don't let her make it back home. There was no parking behind the diner. He'd checked this out on the same night he had come in to see if she still worked there. He'd watched a few employees come and go after he had left, noting that they all walked a block down the street and then crossed over to the little parking garage that sat on the corner. The way he figured it, he had exactly 4 minutes to get it done by the time she came out of the back entrance.